Bam! I still need to fade it out. I need to fade it out. It's super loud in my ear, but I gotta just turn the volume down on the thing. Hey, Gabe, are you still here, Gabe? I know you're waiting for me, waiting for us, dude. I know, but we're here, bro. We're here, Gabe.
Who are you talking? Where's Gabe?
It's 6:31 on YouTube. He posted 6:31, letting us know that we're behind. So
that was my fault. I had to open the web browser on my phone. I think I was trying to get on through the app. I didn't even know I had the app on my phone.
I didn't even know there was an app. I haven't used the app.
What's
up, dude? What's up? See, there's Gabe. Now he's coming back. Dude, B.A.R throwbacks in here too. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, dude? And Triple B, of course. So what's up, fool? How's life in Arizona, bro?
It is absolutely bananas. Absolutely insane. It's an experience, man. It's an experience, and I actually came out to Buffalo Wild Wings out here in Arizona at the Westgate Mall. I want to say these guys do a yearly wing challenge. Okay. So trying to get more out of that.
Like a hot wings challenge, or who can eat the most wings?
Who can eat the most wings?
Damn, that's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, but it's neat. It's fun.
You'd think they wouldn't want to just stuff their faces, but thank
you,
Mickey. Appreciate it.
Mickey, and they got STL Bobbles and Triple B. All the big compliments. Look at that. Look at that back there. Bam, shining.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Looks like the All-Star game back there.
It's coming along. I got 2 more.
Oh my God.
2 more shelves to fill.
That is beautiful, bro.
But dude, I'm doing so much freaking dusting, and it's crazy.
Well, let's we got a guest tonight, and he's on the East Coast and everything else, and he's a big name guest. So let's bring him on now. Is that all right?
We got a goat.
We got a goat, bro. We got to keep the goat. Look at that. At the stage, Nick Carbs. Ow! Yeah.
What's happening, guys? What is happening? I'm glad to be back here.
Dude,
how we doing?
Carbs?
Dude, it's amazing to have you back. Look at that spotlight on food. I love that. It looks good.
My bad, yeah. My bad.
No, it's good.
Very happy to be back.
Are you in your Uber Eats car?
Yes, I guess so. I came to bring food to the Dodger players.
Bring chicken wings.
Yeah.
What's up, Carbs? How you been, man?
I'm good, man. I was just thinking we should do a BobbleTalk wing off.
I'm down. I'm good with that.
Dude, the last time we had Carbs on, Rob was slamming lobster tails.
Surf and turf.
Crab, bro. That's the best crab I freaking had in a long time, dude. So it's hella good.
Surf and turf bobbles.
Dude, so good. I wish I was back down there right now eating it, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's great.
I would do anything for some wings right now.
Yeah, wings. I'm down.
That might be what I do after this show. What up, Andy?
So how you been, guys? It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Just I grabbed my I haven't even opened up the box of stuff I bought. Still haven't even opened the box that you sent to me, dude, from the auction, dude. I haven't even dug into it yet.
Dang, you're far behind, bro. That was like ages ago.
That was no, dude. That was November.
Yeah, it was the day after Thanksgiving.
It was the day after. No, yeah, it was. That's crazy.
Oh,
yeah, I gotta get my shit together, man. Damn. That's terrible.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, dude, I
Dude,
got so much shit going on.
that's what I was gonna say. You got too much shit going on.
Dude, it's freaking terrible, bro. It's terrible.
And then we got the new season on the horizon. That's all that matters.
I know. You already gonna be traveling around, hitting up all the spots again?
Yeah, this year I'll be in St. Louis, Nashville. I'll be on the West Coast potentially twice. Trying to get there for the first Otani. And then I will be there for the Kobe Bryant in LA. And I'll be there for the Blake training also while I'm out there.
Are you gonna hit up the Sacramento, the A's game?
I'm trying to. So you know, I'm gonna be out there with my kids. So I'm trying to make everything work out that we can try to hit up the Bay Area while we're there. So I would love to, you know, after what happened last year with the car accident. So I'm trying to get myself up there, you know, this year.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully we get lucky enough this year and we'll do that. But I do have a lot of traveling plans. See the country again this year.
And you do that. When do you start? Basically, schooled out and all that kind of stuff.
I actually start last year. I had a training, so I was the first bobblehead. It was at opening day in Kansas City, so we were allowed to do it remotely. So I did my training remotely while I was at opening day with the Royals for Bobby Witt.
That's
you know,
that's sick.
I still think that Bobby Witt Jr. was one of the top 5 bobbleheads last year.
Oh, it was. I mean, it was fantastic. I think that one. I think there was a lot of good ones last year. It was hard to pick. You know, a very underrated one was the Quake season ticket holder with the Quake. What's his name? Holding a hot dog. It was very well done.
Oh yeah.
And I'm trying to think.
The tremor.
Tremor. That's it. The tremor. You know, there was so much bobbleheads that I got my hands on this year that it was really hard to pick a top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Midland Rockhounds Amigo in the car was stick.
We got that one. Yeah.
And if you don't have one, then you can hit up Armando, one of my admins on my page. He's still got.
All right, good to know. Yeah, I got that one, I think.
Yeah. So how about you guys? You guys travel?
What was your number 1 last year?
Oh man, that's tough. My number 1 bobblehead last year. Well, the Monkey D. Luffy that the Red Sox did was really good. That one blew up like crazy. That's really, really difficult. Oh, the Pantera from the White Sox was hot.
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard question. And it was heavy too. That was definitely a hard question. The Wit from opening day was pretty dope. The Godzilla that the Giants did was dope. I mean, there were some really, really amazing things I got my hands on last year that is really hard to pick one.
Okay, how about this? What was from your if you guys watch and haven't seen it yet, Nick does a huge bobblehead blowout sale right around Thanksgiving.
It's at Thanksgiving, guys. It's in Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Well, it starts the day before Thanksgiving and it bleeds into Thanksgiving. So
right. So from that show this year, which was huge, I think all 3 of us were on there for almost the entire time. What's your most like in demand bobblehead from this past year that people were like clamoring for?
The Bubble Boy from the Cyclones. I had gotten 108 of them from the Cyclones. And I sold all of them except for like 3 before the show.
Wow.
That was a tremendous one. The Monkey D. Luffy from the Red Sox. I ended up with 6 cases. I moved all 6 cases besides like 3 within like 36 hours, which was another. It was like my phone was just bing, bing, bing blowing up, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" And
that's
that
great.
one,
I don't get that one personally.
That's the anime one.
Yeah, that's the anime one. There were a lot of people into it, and it was something that blew up on Netflix, and people loved it, and it was a hot one. And you know, I kept one for myself, and that's it. They moved like crazy. You know, luckily with the Red Sox, I contribute with helping them with their designs. So, I do get my hands to help out with some stuff. They have some ridiculous things waiting to drop, but hint, hint, they're most likely dropping a Post Malone this year that we were working on designing with them over the last couple of months. I'm hoping they end up coming through with it. They already went with the Rafaela bobblehead. That was something that we planned, and a couple of other things. So I'm very excited about it.
That's sick.
Hey, so okay, I know you do that in the past, help with the Red Sox, but there's something I'm confused on. Do you just like know somebody and that's why you help, or are you a Red Sox fan? Because I thought you were a diehard Yankees fan.
Oh, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but we did some work with them on designing a couple things, and they really liked what we did. So now we have done some stuff with them, and now it's more along the lines of if I need something, I give them a ring, batting practice passes, field level passes. So I go and I will go see a game. And the thing is like I'm more of I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but I'm also a baseball fan. So there are players I root for. It doesn't matter the team. Doesn't matter this as long, it's about the sport and growing the sport. You know what I mean? So there are guys in the Red Sox I do like watching. And it's just how I am. I grew up a Yankee fan, and even though I'm a diehard, I don't really stand for a lot of the things the Yankees do between their stadium and the way some of the 27 rings fans act. Those aren't real fans. Those are frauds, they are. They can't tell you things. They can't tell you who wore number 2 before Derek Jeter. It's stuff like that. Those are not the real fans. So they're the ones who give the real Yankee fans a bad name.
Hey, so speaking of that, I'm interested to hear your take on this. So I'm in a group text with STL bobbleheads, Andy, Uriel, and Rob, and this came up today. We were talking about Dodger fans, ironically, and like how they're kind of a little obnoxious right now, and kind of wearing a little thin on everyone's nerves with how arrogant they are. I'm trying to be.
I can see why I'm not in that group thread. What the hell?
I'm trying to be politically correct here, Foo. But so the question that came up was like, and I said, I think Red Sox fans are the most annoying fan to me, like over the course of my fandom. And Andy threw out the Yankees. He actually threw out the Blue Jays too, which I thought was kind of weird. Like they seem
that is weird.
Yeah, but like in your opinion, as a Yankees fan, who's the most annoying fan group to you?
So it's a hard question because it depends, right? So usually a team that wins a World Series, their fans come as the biggest pains in the ass. It's like I said, the Astros fans are the worst for years because I can't listen to them, and now everybody's saying the Dodgers fans. You got to think everybody threw in the Dodgers face that their 2020 championship was fake. And they have the right to gloat. Their team won a championship, and people are going to say, "Oh, they bought their championship, etc." But you know what? They still won a championship. That doesn't mean anything. The Yankees had the highest payroll for many, many years, and we won 0. We lost to the Marlins in 2013 when we had the highest payroll in baseball, and the Marlins were running Josh Beckett out there. It's to me though, I think the most annoying fans are my own personal Yankee fans, and the reason I say this is because. We've gone away from the real fan, and it's become such a corporate buttoned up thing that the real fans have stayed away from Yankee Stadium. The real Yankee fans just go there for the bobbleheads and leave and watch their team on TV, and that's it. For the most part, there's a couple of people who aren't that I could think of, like Yankee Jets fans. One of them, he is a diehard who goes to the games, doesn't matter. But for the most part, Yankee fans are assholes. There's a lot of obnoxious stuff, and there's stuff like that, and we have that, and etc. But we've gone away from what truly made us fans. And every fan base has their assholes.
Did that come when they built the new stadium? Do you think?
Yes, 100%.
That's what I think was going to happen in Oakland. No matter what, I think it was going to happen in Oakland. No matter what happened, it was going to the same way.
With new stadiums come new corporate opportunities, which comes bigger assholes. And prior to 2009, 2008, I have a lot of memories of Yankee Stadium as a kid. It's none of that anymore. Everything is like how much money do you have? What seat can you get? And there's no fan service whatsoever. It's the more money you have, the more you can get, and that's it. And they treat their fans like shit. You know,
That's a shame.
it is.
I didn't mean to talk over you about it, but that was exactly how I felt. Was regardless if they went over to Howard Terminal or whatever, a new stadium in Oakland, it was going to happen. You know what I mean? What you're talking about was going to happen. Happened with the Giants. The Giants fans were pretty. With it, Candlestick was I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was like going to the Oakland Coliseum, in my opinion, a little bit. You know, and then it came with the Giants, and then it shifted, and then all the douchebags came with it. So
well,
I love me some Candlestick.
I think that's the thing with all these new, with not all, but with the majority of new stadiums that open, is I think they open them for the corporations and for the rich of the rich. Like I've been to Yankee Stadium, both new and old, and my experience at old Yankee Stadium was far, far, far greater than it was at. I thought. I mean, I guess they do call it the concrete jungle, but I thought New Yankee Stadium was just like there was no frills. Like it was cool out in center field. What do they call it out there?
The bleach creases. Oh, you're talking about the batter's eye.
Monument Park. That was cool, obviously, like to see all that, but like fans weren't really. It was a game in August, and like fans weren't really there until like the third inning, and it just wasn't awful. It just wasn't that cool, but yeah.
Mickey's even worried about it too. He's talking about with Philly and all that. So
it's awful. It's you're really taking the fan out of it. There are a couple of places where I haven't seen that. Texas, the new Rangers Stadium, you don't see that. That's a great stadium if you get yourself out there. Not like that, right? New Rangers Stadium is beautiful, and the fans there are very welcoming. Arizona was the same way. You know, but it's certain stadiums. It's what we've become. We've wiped out the true fan, and we've taken the fun away from it, which is sad.
Well,
you know,
that's actually one. I mean, obviously, the three that I'll reference are just absolute historical landmark parks. But I mean, that's what's so cool about Wrigley, Fenway, and Dodger Stadium is that they're super old, but over time they just keep dumping money into them to modernize them to the point where it satisfies the corporations and it satisfies the elite, but it still gives you that nostalgia. It still gives the ultimate fan experience. So I think Dodger Stadium's in the midst. Maybe it's just their field right now, because I know they renovated it a couple years ago. Anyways,
they're under construction right now, and they're doing a bunch of different things. There's like a new trophy room down in the dugout section, where the dugout members or exclusive ticket members that go down there. It's a crazy seating arrangement for the dugout club, is what it's called. So if you go through Dodger Stadium, you get those dugout seats. You go down under, and you kind of walk through a path where the players walk out onto the field, and you see there's like a huge trophy display. So it's like one of the renovations that they're doing aside from the field as well, and they're expanding a bunch of different things cool too as well. But you know, to what Nick was saying, so the fandom at Dodger Stadium, it's relatively chill. It's nice. It's a lot of hype. It's a lot of love. And if you don't like heckle or like talk shit, wanting to like fight someone, then you won't get that same energy back. But if you banter back and forth and show love, the feeling will be mutual with the fans. Sorry if you hear my damn maps, but the Dodgers organization, the staff, they're assholes. Excuse my language. They're complete a-holes, and they don't care about the fans. You know, it sucks that they take away a lot from season ticket holders as well. They limit a lot of things now, and the security is so tight there. I understand why, within reason as well. But if you sneeze or fart the wrong way, you're getting freaking tossed out. That's how crazy it is.
That's something they started doing at Yankee Stadium too. And you know, you got people walking around in plain clothes. You got facial recognition, throwing people out, confiscating bags. It's the same shit that's happened in LA has happened in New York, and we get to deal with it twice. Being you got Citi Field and Yankee Stadium, but Citi Field they actually arrest people and banned him from the stadium. City Field is not good with that.
Wow.
Dude, I got kicked out when yeah. Here's the crazy part.
He loves
Yeah,
his
I
stuff.
had a cell shirt. Literally had a cell shirt. The A's were in town. Dude, you know I'm pretty freaking heavy, dog. I'm heavy set. So I was walking hell around the stadium doing my thing, and I sat down. I literally sat down for like 2-3 minutes. I saw some fool like chilling right next to me. He had a bag of bobbleheads. I had my bag of bobbleheads, and he ended up selling like his bobbleheads like there. I'm like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy. And next thing you know, security's on him like a hawk, and they tell him like, oh, you can't be selling here. You got to go. So I'm like, oh shit, well, good luck, guy. Peace out. Like you fucked up. And then the other security comes up to me. He's like, you got to go too. I'm like, what do I have? Like, I didn't do shit. He's like, oh no, you're selling bobbleheads. Look, you're promoting. You have a sell shirt. I'm like, yo, what?
Oh man.
Yeah. I was like, you're kidding me. I'm like, nah, bro. And it was in Dodger blue. I was like, nah, bro. And it was a Hello Kitty night. It was the worst experience. I'm like, yo, I've never gotten kicked out of Dodger Stadium for any reason. Like, what the hell? I'm like, I know the rules. Like, I know what's up. I'm like, yo, I got mad tickets. I'm showing them all my tickets. I'm like, I'm not trying to sell shit. I'm not trying to like what, like, bro. Like, I'm like, count. Like, I'm like, that fool is selling. Kick kids. Like, why are you kicking me out? But like, you know what, you gotta go. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not gonna argue it because I don't want to ban. Like if you don't, if you don't listen to their orders, they'll grab you, toss you out, and then you'll get banned. And I'm not trying to do all that shit, man.
Yep. I know a couple of people who got that ban. That's rough.
Oh, I know who we're talking about.
How do stadiums like uphold those bans? Like, how do they know?
So I can answer this question because I was banned from a couple of minor league stadiums. So I will tell you exactly how this is done. I'm still banned from a couple of them, some for life. They take your picture, and that picture is given to security pre-game, and at security they have that person's picture. So for example, I'm permanently banned from the now defunct Lowell Spinners and the Reading Fighting Phils. I'm banned from both minor league stadiums for purchasing bobbleheads, etc. It was a whole mess. Yeah, it was a story I told a long time ago, but there's this guy out here in New York who despises me, and I used to post my schedule of everywhere I'm going for the season, and people used to be like, hey, I'm going to take A, B, C, X, Q, whatever. And this guy sent my schedule because he hated me to the teams. And then I went, yeah. So I went into the stadium. I ended up with like 75 of these bobbleheads, and then they were just like, are you Nick Carbonaro? I'm like, yeah, etc. They took me in the back. They escorted me to the back. They were like, they had my whole list printed out. They had my pictures printed out, etc. They like, you've been hitting us up for years.
Wow.
No way.
And then they were like, we have a no solicitation law here in Massachusetts, so we're going to be taking you in. We're going to be arresting you. So I was like, come on, man. I'm a teacher in New York City. I ain't got time to do any of this stuff. I'll just ban me for life, whatever. So the owner was like, you're going to jail today, blah, 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 blah. So I'm talking to the cop. I'm trying to appease him. They walk me through the place where all the season ticket holders are. I take a cheeseburger and start eating it. And then I'll eat the cheeseburger, and the guy's like, put down our effing cheeseburger. And I'm like, you put down the fucking cheeseburger. The cop starts laughing. The cop starts laughing. He takes me outside. He's like, just go home, man. I'm like, all right, thank you. I appreciate that. Like 3 days later, I got a cease and desist letter with my banishment letter from the Lowell Spinners for that. So I can't say his name who narked about it, but somebody on my website on the bar posted the guy's picture. A good friend of mine who likes to start shit, another New York guy. And then the Reading Phillies, what ended up happening is we ended up getting them early. We ended up getting a bunch of stuff early from the Reading Phillies while they were the Phillies at that point. And I was friends with the assistant GM, and he's like, listen, go on your page. Can you sell some of them on the page? We need some money because we're hurting because it's a pandemic, etc. A Philly guy took my picture, my screenshot, and sent it to the president of the team, who completely disavowed me. I got a cease and desist from them, and I got banned from them for life.
No way.
So,
Dude.
So you're telling me if you tried to go to one of their games, you're confident that they show your picture before every game to security?
yep.
Especially
Because I went
bobblehead
back.
game.
I went to Reading, and I was not allowed in
You should
because I thought it was
try like
bullshit.
going like that Bobby Valentine bit where he wears the fake nose and glasses. See if you can get it.
I definitely should.
That'd make a good documentary.
Absolutely.
Damn,
You
that's
know,
crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. But some of these teams, and now the teams with the facial recognition software, they are able to stick to it.
The Dodgers have
Especially
that.
the Mets piloted it, and then and I got busted by that at the Mets one time, but nothing happened. Just like stop doing it. Then the Dodgers adopted, then the Yankees, and then other teams have started to pick it up this year.
I know that guy that tried to take Mookie's glove off in the World Series. I know he's been banned by MLB, I believe, across the board. So I've always wondered, like, how are they going to enforce that? Like, there's no way. Like, if this guy wants to go to a Milwaukee Brewers game, like, there's no way they're not going to let him in.
I don't know. The dude looked like every typical Mama Luke from New York City, so it's possible that there's no fucking way he's getting in. So
crazy. Hey, there's a question in the chat. It's a good one from Doug. It kind of fits to right now.
Hold on, I just heard two of you talking at once. I didn't hear anything that just happened.
Which question in the chat?
The one where Doug asks about buying and selling bobbles on site. Is it illegal?
Oh. Well, we out of the Ports games and the A's games, no problem. Do it all over the place. But A's are not there anymore. Ports do it, no problem.
It's trading now.
At Dodger Stadium, you can't trade, and you cannot trade, and you cannot sell inside the stadium.
Same thing in New York.
It is frowned upon, and you will get a ban.
New York, Philly, same way. Boston, it's impossible. Baltimore could be done. DC, it could be done, but all these places, are people, and now people like, oh, you can't trade either because I walk in with traders. Some teams love the trading. There are teams who walk in. There's a few teams up in the Northeast that seem like, oh, you get a trade today. Awesome. So an example is the Vermont Lake Monsters, who used to be an Oakland affiliate. The GM is like my boy up there, and he's like, oh, what do you got for me this time, Carbs? You got any nationals for me? So I know to bring up some nationals for him. And he'll be like, here, take 6 of the bobbleheads today and give me these 6 nationals. And we do trades up there. And same thing in Hartford when they do bobbleheads. But there are stadiums that still allow the trading, but there are some who are just a-holes about it.
It's like Doug traded with somebody on site.
Yeah, we traded. Doug and I traded. Hey, where there's a will, there's a way. I'll tell you that now. You know what I mean? Like it's low key. But what I'm saying is, like, if you get caught, you'll get kicked out. It's crazy. The Dodger security, they're like on a power trip. They act like they work for the Dodgers, and I'll tell you this because I work in the security industry, and I've worked with a lot of high end clients. There's a way to de-escalate and to get people to do what you want them to do in a respectful manner. So if someone's trading, just speak to them with a courteous tone and talk to them like a human being.
Right.
That's not the case at Dodger Stadium. Right away, these guys think they're like, I don't know, like I said, they think they own the stadium and they're like on a huge power trip, and like I get more upset because I come from the security background. Like I used to be the boots on the ground, and now I'm a director of operations, and I have to train not only managers, supervisors, and the boots on the ground. It's one of those things where I always tell all my team, treat everyone with a manner of respect. You get more out of people in that sense, and they respect it more, and they be like, oh, you know what? I'm sorry I did that. I'll take off, on my own accord. You don't have to carry me out.
1,000%.
Yeah. Since we talked about the worst fans, Andy's on this big high horse about the Blue Jay fans. I never had any trouble with Blue Jay fans, but Andy,
me either,
dude. And since Skydome's in here, I wanted to bring it up because Andy, I don't know you talk, dude. You got your feelings hurt, your butt hurt with the Blue Jay fan. I never had trouble with Blue Jay fans ever.
Me either. I went up there for a couple of games, and
They're
I
like the
felt like a
nicest
rock
people.
star up there. They were the nicest people. I was having beers with everybody, like, oh shit, Carbs is here from New York, and we were having beers and bullshitting and just talking shop for a bunch of time. My ex-wife got really pissed off about me talking to people for so long. Probably why she's my ex, but but no, but the point of the matter is that I have nothing but great times every time I've been in Toronto, and I was recent too.
Andy, I think you need to look in the mirror, bro. I think you need to look in the mirror, homie. So Skydome had we have a lot of questions for you, actually, dude.
Yeah.
What's the highest number of bobbleheads you got in a game? That's the Skydome question.
The highest number I've gotten in the game was 350 Bryce Harper
shit.
Syracuse bobbleheads. There were only 1,000, and I ended up with 35% of them.
Oh
wow!
Man. That was my biggest game ever, and it was what really got me into the bobblehead game because I just said, let me do this. And I just went up there with a stack of $10 bills and a bunch of other stuff. And it blew up on the pages and it made me a lot of money. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
That's crazy, dude.
And,
how do you carry 350 bobbleheads out, bro?
So I was bringing them out by the case to my car. I had garbage bags set up and it was, I had things set up in seats. And the crazy thing is the GM of that team and I are very, very good friends, and we bullshit with each other all the time because we still laugh about it to this day.
That's crazy, dude.
Were you working alone?
I was working alone that day.
Wow. That's unreal, man.
So it was a good time. And then there was been a couple of ones where I've gotten, 100, 150 by myself, it all depends. Sometimes you got a lot of good traders. Sometimes you catch a great group of people that are buying stuff. And, each time is different. There's been times where I've walked out with 200 Yankees when the Yankees were an easy team to get extras from. And, it's not the same anymore, but, it used to be easy. Not anymore, Yankee Stadium. It's very, very hard now.
That's crazy.
What's the worst game you've ever
there's been a couple of times I pitched a shutout. Either I got there late or the line was crazy or it's happened to me a couple. It happened. If you're a person who gets a lot of extras, there's going to be times where you just hit a zero and you're just like, it wasn't a good day, and you just take the L, and that's it. It's happened to me a couple of times. It happens to me a couple of times a year. Even as somebody who gets as much as I do, it's just the wrong time, the wrong things. It happened in February with St. John's, local university here. They did Lou Carnesecca figurine, and in the past, you usually just walked up and they're like, "How many you want?" And be like, "All right, I'll take a case. So I'll take 2 cases," and it was easy. But because the guy had died not long before that, and nobody knew about the change of policy, I walked in there and I didn't get a single one. I ended up finding one at the end of the game, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy!" But they were on eBay for 200 a piece at the time, and it caused they changed the way they gave things away, and it ended up happening. But it happens every season, 1 or 2 games, and comes into territory.
Kind of piggybacking on that one. So, what's the most valuable one you've acquired?
So the most value that I acquired that continues to get. So the 2 big ones for me were the Clint Eastwood that was given out at the Pebble Beach. So there was only 100 of those Clint Eastwood given out. I ended up with 20 of them.
Shit.
That's because I knew it is. When you have the chance, go on eBay and look at the Clint Eastwood. Look up Clint Eastwood bobblehead from Pebble Beach.
AT&T, right? It's a sponsor.
Yep, at the AT&T Pebble Beach. You have to go to the Clint Saloon. They're fucking badass. They're still getting between 400 and 600 a piece.
Oh shit.
I throw one up occasionally online. I'm hoarding them. I actually have one signed in my collection.
Damn.
That and the original Isotope Mariachi, I was the only person who had them on any page anywhere. That was before they blew up. I was the only person in this country who had them. I ended up with 110 of those, the original mariachis. And it was just, I had people in Albuquerque, that were able to help me out. And they still, occasionally if I need $300, $200, I drop one on the page, or I know people who buy them, and that's it.
Damn.
And I ended up paying. I traded a few, but I ended up paying around $35 a piece for them.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. But I still trade. I don't want everybody to think it's all about money, but I also make a lot of trades. I usually trade 40% of the bobbleheads I acquire every year from people. So let's say if I acquire 100 at a game, I will trade 40 of them with people. So I'm not just strictly sales.
How big's your PC? Do you have everything that you've?
So my PC, I rotate my PC. My PC, I'll display 100 pieces, and then what I used to do is I get tired of things after 6 months and sell them.
Yeah.
And then I'd be tired of it, and I end up rebuying it in 6 months. So now what I do is I rotate them out, and it keeps me to 2 Detolfs, and everything else is packed away. And then when I want to get tired of looking at them, I reopen my box and I put them back out.
Okay. How many do you have? Individually? Not doubles and everything else. How many different ones do you have? Do you think?
So, well, that's hard. I want to say around 1,800 right now.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and those are singles. Doubles, I try to have all my doubles gone by February 1st.
Okay.
So all my doubles of stuff I have a guy in Maryland who buys everything. We make a deal, be like, listen, let's do 100 bobbleheads for say $2,500, and we call it a day. I ship them down to him, and that's it. So I start at zero every spring training.
Wow. That's cool, man.
You end up with excess. You end up with too much, and you're like, I got no space for this. I got no space for this. And it's the same issue every single year. And you're like, I got too much shit collecting dust. So you got to make those moves, because additionally, people also don't want last year's bobbleheads. They want this year's bobbleheads.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you end up doing with a bobblehead that you get like in season that just for whatever reason you can't move? Do you just kind of blow them out at your sale, or?
So I'll blow them out of my sale, or I'll find some way to trade them, or they'll go in my classroom. I have a whole bunch of bobbleheads in my classroom, currently in the South Bronx. I think I have close to 200 displayed in my classroom. I have them kind of displayed all over the place. So it's pretty cool, and I end up trading them with some of my students during the year too, whatever's left over.
That's awesome.
What PJ Leaf's got a good question. What's your favorite non-New York bobblehead in your collection?
Oh, favorite non-New York bobblehead in my collection. It's got to be the two that really. It's the Clint Eastwood. The Clint Eastwood's my favorite in my collection.
I just looked that up. That's pretty tight. I'll try to show that.
It's absolutely my favorite bobblehead in my collection is the Clint. I'm very big into the Westerns, and it's just the way it was done. It's from a Fistful of Dollars. It's one of the best ones made, I think.
I like it. That's cool. I never seen it before.
Yeah, you definitely got to look. If you could get your hands on one, absolutely do it. If you find one that happens to drop for cheap on eBay, absolutely go for it, because they do get a premium.
Do you think the Triple B wants to know if you think that the minor league teams have hit a wall in their concepts?
I think some. I think you're seeing it happen in Akron. Akron at one point was the forefront for bobbleheads. They really did a lot of great things. But Akron has gotten worse and worse. I think that's something that the problem with the minors is they have to produce. They produce their bobbleheads in March, in February and March, and they have to produce. And if something happens, then they just gotta do it, and they gotta take the loss. A player gets traded, this and that. One of the only teams that's really been on top of that has been the Cyclones in Brooklyn, because they have a direct line with a couple of companies that if they need something, they could hit that. But I do believe that some teams have hit a wall, and that is due to funding. I believe it's due to a lack of not listening to what collectors really want. Collectors don't want to see the same major league bobbleheads. Let's come up with a new concept. We started a Field of Dreams run. Do Field of Dreams. Do more of them. I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard thing, and we just see these players, but where can we go next?
Right. I totally agree with you on that. And they just keep rehashing Star Wars, and then the sugar skulls. I get it. The sugar skulls is like a thing,
Yeah.
but like they use the same mold and this and that.
Right.
Like, come on, start
Right.
changing it up a little bit, man.
I
Is
would.
there any concepts that like if you had well, I guess you do have a direct line to some teams, but like anything that you want to see?
I think if they did a Squid Game bobblehead, because that's so hot right now,
Yeah,
that those people go nuts for him. Like nobody wants to see any more Game of Thrones. House of Dragon was shit. Nobody
dude.
wants those. It was dog shit, and people are tired of the same Star Wars poses. Like I know they're doing the anniversary of Peanuts again. Okay, come and put a new Peanuts character. Like we
Yeah,
get it, we
yeah.
get it. 16 Charlie Browns and 17 Linuses. We get it already. Like there's 16 Hello Kitties. We get like there are other things that are out there. Like we have to start tapping into those things to get people to really be into it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you? How about what's what's the most bullshit you put up? Nonsense bullshit you ever had to deal with?
I deal I deal with bullshit on a weekly basis.
Isn't that be part of the president of the bar?
Yeah, when you run a bobblehead page like ours, we deal with bullshit every week. We deal with, sometimes the admins fight with each other over something silly like a post or a comment, or I'm sometimes very heavy handed where I'm just feel like, get this fucking guy out of here, and I delete them without conferring with the other partners. And then we all curse each other out over the phone and call each other assholes. Um, I mean, it happens all the time, with that. So we'll come up with something new and people be like, you're being a dictator, like calling me like fucking Hitler or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be, I'm just trying to make everything run smoothly. I got a lot going on. But sometimes it's just people that are mad about like rules. I'm just like, listen, you got to coin that. Well, I'm not coining it. Well, then you got to throw you out, man. Or just people just trying to just get around the rules, and we're just trying to keep things clean. Like the page has been devoid of, we haven't had any real scams and things that have happened. We've really met at a pass before they hit our page, and that's what's kept our page clean. And it's probably one of the only reasons I still use Facebook is because of the bar, and that's really that. We just deal with bullshit on a daily basis and especially in season, people get mad. Oh, I want to raffle this. How come he's raffling? I'm like, there's a list,
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Frozen food.
Frozen food.
Dylan kind of I kind of like this kind of concept. So I know that this is Craig T. Nelson for coach, but and he brought up like Mr. Belvedere. I wouldn't mind seeing like tying in like an old actor TV show thing and a bobblehead drop the same, like minor league type thing or something like that. I think it'd be kind of cool to see something different.
I agree, and the problem is we have so many people who are in a sell now sort of a mode at a lot of these places that's just gonna be like, oh, I don't want that shit. I don't want it. There's nothing, and it's gonna end up being not really appreciated like some of these other concepts would be. And listen, I 100% agree with you. There are things that I would love to see. I would love to see, 8 men out bobbleheads like in White Sox uniforms. That would be dope, but it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'd be dope to do the coach. It would be dope to, this all great, like, why didn't they come up with a string of Yellowstone bobbleheads? Yellowstone was the hottest show for a long time. There was one done by El Paso and nobody else followed suit. They did these dumb hats and things like that, but they would have moved everywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't the Cardinals do a Yellowstone bobblehead?
Oh, you're right. So it was 2 of them. So it was El Paso did a minor league and the Cardinals did a one also. But
yeah, you're right. Like, I think the thing we all have to remember too about bobbleheads is that they're a promotion, right? So they've got to be a draw. They've got to be, and I agree. Like, I think Mr. Belvedere would be cool, but I don't know how many like people are clamoring to get a Mr. Belvedere bobblehead there.
I was thinking more like if you could bring the actor out to do a signing with it, you know what I mean, kind of thing. I think that guy's dead, but I don't know. I'm making an assumption.
I'm going to give you an example. So like, Seinfeld night is tremendous in Brooklyn, and people have wanted Newman to do a Newman bobblehead from Seinfeld. I really whatever, but Newman wanted $25,000 for his likeness rights, and then wanted another $25,000 to appear. So what ends up happening is some of these minor league teams are handcuffed because of budget to get some of these guys in. So they end up being the same run of the mill office characters, the same people. There's only so many places that can have fucking pretzel day at their stadium for the office.
Right.
Right. And they're trying to keep their promotions under, I believe, 5 and 10,000, depending on the team, but it's tough.
Yeah. No, I get it. Is the majority of your collection Yankees players?
It is not a majority of Yankee I have I have a mix of stuff. I have Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff. I'm a big collector of. Well, the Christmas SGA is like that King County does.
Oh yeah.
Like I have those. Yeah, I love those too. Like the Christmas Story set from Lake County is one of my favorite. I have that in my collection. And then the Christmas Vacation bobbleheads that King did, I have that. But my collection is very, very mixed. It's eclectic. It's like my music style all over the place. There isn't really a rhyme or reason, except I have a couple of themes, and the rest is just random shit.
There's a Mickey on Instagram he liked the Foco concept baseball player wearing NFL jerseys. I'm trying to remember what that is. I don't remember what concept that is, but I can't.
It was I think like a backwards day or something like that, and it was just a image rendering. It wasn't like an actual.
It wasn't
thing.
for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said a concept, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be hard for those teams to do that crossover design. I know, like, there are a couple of teams out here that used to try to do things like Trenton Thunder used to get Giants and Jets players in, but they couldn't put Giants and Jets logos on it. I mean, it's a cool concept, but I know that with the licensing fees that some of these teams want, it would be very, very difficult to pull some of those things off.
Man, I guess Mahomes they got lucky with Mahomes when he did the Royals, right?
Well, because he owns a percentage of the Royals.
Oh, okay.
The Dodgers did that one with Caleb Williams a couple years ago. That was kind of
Caleb Williams. They did it with LeBron. The Kings recently just did one. They did a crossover Dodgers one. They had like a Dodgers night at LA King Stadium. The Dodgers may have some stuff going on this year as well for other teams.
So I actually know why the Dodgers are able to do more of those, and that is because with the LA teams, they have a special written agreement with each other with cross promotion that they started doing from when the Dodgers moved out there from Brooklyn, and it was all about building up cross promotion. And I believe it's a 50 to 75 year agreement between the teams about sharing trademarks and logos and stuff like that, as well as likeness rights. Yeah.
The Warriors the Giants are doing a Curry this year, and the Bucks did a Giannis a couple years ago.
Yep. I believe Giannis might be a percentage owner of the Brewers also.
Oh, interesting.
So I know the Brewers, when they were going through that time, he bought like 0.5% or something like that. I thought I read somewhere. So
interesting.
Who the hell knows? Who knows? What SGAs are you guys looking forward to this year?
Well, it sucks because I like the A's ones that they have, but so I actually like them because there were players that were there with Oakland. You know what I mean? So that was a pretty cool type of thing. I don't know. I've been a little bit out of it. I haven't even opened up your box of shit I bought from you back in November, so I've been a little bit behind.
I mean, I'll let Fu go last because he's got about 740 that he's looking forward to. All from the Dodgers, but yeah, I mean, like same as Rob, like I'm looking forward to acquiring the A's ones. I'm not going to go to the games to get them, but I'm looking forward to the Steph Curry Giants one, and I think the Barry Bonds the Giants are doing is pretty cool. I was always, as much as I hate the Giants, I was always a big Barry Bonds guy. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out to San Fran for the Bonds. I'm trying to see if it's in the cards. And my summer is crazy with sporting events and concerts. Everybody that I like is on tour this summer, so it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I've had that summer before. It is. I think
Oops.
real quick on Barry Bonds. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I noticed it. Yes. Oh, I mean, I've noticed it over the last couple months in particular. And then I noticed it. It really struck me yesterday during the All-Star game, NBA All-Star game. He was out there pregame, talking to. He did a bit for TNT, talked to the crowd. But I think there's clearly I think him and his PR people they're making a very big push to improve his reputation. I think he's really trying to make a push to get into the Hall is what I think. Because he's kind of been all over lately, and now the Giants have kind of welcomed him back into the organization, so they're kind of celebrating him again. Finally, they're doing a Barry Bonds Day this year, so I don't know. I mean, I think it's good for the game personally because I think he's the best player I've ever seen.
So and what's crazy is there's a couple of pieces to that. So first off, Bonds was an asshole to everybody, the fans, the teams, everybody else when he played.
Right.
That's the first piece. Secondly, I think he was a Hall of Famer before he even went to San Francisco because of his years in Pittsburgh. The guy was a perennial 30-30 guy every year. But he got disgusted with everything that happened with McGuire and Sosa and all that. And so he wants to come back and be welcomed into the city that loved him after he saw the love that his uncle and that McCovey got and all this other stuff when he passed, and Frank Robinson and all these other guys who passed recently. He wants to be back into their good graces, and I think the same thing is happening with Sammy Sosa in Chicago because now they're welcoming him back to everything. He was at Cubs Fest this year. Both guys signed exclusives with Topps Fanatics to start signing autographs again. They're trying to get back into the fold of things because their money that they made during the days might be starting to run out or might be getting tapped,
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. But he hasn't done any signings or anything much. It's just all been public appearances.
Yeah, he was on he was featured on that Golden Show on Netflix too. And I think that really helped. I think that really helped drive his his collectability again too. Personally, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting what the angle is because if you listen to him talk when he does interviews and he's softened a lot. He's not he doesn't come off as the arrogant asshole that he always used to come off as.
Yeah. It's true.
So
it's true.
It's kind of interesting to see what's going to happen with that.
I agree.
Smiles and waves a lot. That's the only thing I've seen so far in public, in person.
1,000%.
Well, you can't. I mean, he was at that softball game at the Coliseum that Reggie did. There's no way Barry Bonds shows up at that in years past.
Right. 2014 Barry Bonds is not showing up at that.
Hell no.
No.
He
but
was
something to look at.
Memorial.
Yeah, and something to look at is he occasionally drops signed stuff on his website that you can get. That's definitely 100% cheaper than you see on pages. So if you're a Bonds fan, I know in the past I've scored a couple of balls for $150, $199 on his website.
Yeah, I've heard that. I want to get a Candlestick seat back signed by him, but it's hasn't been in the cards here lately.
I mean, they're trying to get him. From what I heard, is they're trying to get him at Fanatics Fest in the city in New York City this year in June.
So that's happening again. Is it going to be a smaller scale than last year? I heard that they didn't do real good about it. So I thought it's going to be big.
Well. They did very well with it, but it's going to be, I heard, bigger than last year.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
wow. That thing's crazy, dude. That thing was unreal last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try if I could go, but between my schedule and everything else, it was maybe not, but we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah. But you got everybody's signature anyways. You're like king of autographs too.
Yeah, I'm big into the autos too.
Let's see, Andy has a shit ton of questions for you. What's the most popular bobblehead you think this year? Of what's been released, I guess.
So what's been released that's been the most? I think the Celia Cruz that the Marlins are doing is going to be massive.
Okay.
The
Who is that?
Mullins are doing this. Celia Cruz was humongous in the Puerto Rican and Hispanic communities. A legend for music that I've had people hitting me up.
Oh,
Hey, are you in Miami?
oh
And I'm
yeah.
like, I'm thinking about flying to Miami for it, but people are blowing me up like crazy for it. I know all the collectives of people I do business with in New York are like, dude, I need one from Miami. I'm like, I'll see what I can do. So that's one of them. And I think about what else I saw that potentially is going to be.
I forgot about
I
that.
mean,
I didn't know who that was. I had to ask who that was. So I remember. I know the piece you're talking about now.
and I think the Otanis with the Dodgers are going to be ridiculous this year with all the 50-50s.
You can't put anything Dodger related in this conversation. They're in the island of their own. They're like,
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm just saying.
I mean, once they won a World Series, everything that's going to be Dodgers is going to be 200, 300 plus this year. Every single bobblehead.
I think
Doesn't matter who it is.
I think the Kobe's are going to be more sought after.
That's the
than the
number
Otanis.
one that is going to go absolutely nuts. So back in 2016, I want to say the Dodgers were supposed to release a Kobe Bryant bobblehead, and it never happened.
Mhm.
So for this to actually finally happen, like bobblehead collectors out here, all the Dodger fans are Florida, and they're like going crazy for it because it's something that we've been waiting for, and we got vetoed out of that bobblehead when news broke about that one. So that's one of the ones that I'm actually looking forward to.
I'll be out there with you, buddy.
It's
that
gonna
one's
be
gonna
hard
dope.
this year. I'll tell you that much. It's gonna a lot of
I saw the policy changes. There's a lot of crazy policy changes.
a lot of new rules, and yeah, it's gonna
What are
suck.
they?
So before you say if I bought 5 tickets,
Yeah.
I personally could go by myself and pick up 5 bobbleheads. They're not doing that anymore. It's one per ticket.
That's a
Even
big
if you
one.
got the MVP, because that was a big loophole.
That's a big one. Because I was always astonished. I mean, I only went to one Dodger bobblehead game in my life, but I couldn't believe that you could just like show 5 tickets and get 5 bobbleheads.
It's crazy.
So that's gonna be a big change.
Another thing,
not really. It's not a big change. They reverted back to that because that's what it was back in the last time they did that was 2018. So from 2018 all the way back, that's what they did. It was one per. And 2019 until recent, it was like 5 per.
Yeah, but you guys weren't what you were in 2018 and 2019. Now you're just coming off a World Series, so now the lines are going to be even crazier, and people running tickets, and ticket price is going to keep going up.
Yeah. Did they have any bobblehead? Did they have any bobbleheads at the Fanatic show? Nick, Mickey, you wanted to know.
They did. They did, but they weren't like they were eBay priced. If you know what I'm trying to say, they weren't really great deals. The best place to get your deals on bobbleheads is the National, which I believe is going to be in Cleveland this year. When you go to the National, you have people that are blowing out. I mean, there was in Atlantic City, I think I got like 40 bobbleheads for $200, and I flipped that for around $1,500. It was there's a lot of good deals if you can get to the National.
I wonder who asked that question. Mickey.
Mickey, yeah.
I wonder if he's like, I know that Fanatics Fest last year, Topps put out like Fanatics Fest only cards. I wonder if that's what he means. Like, is there exclusive bobbleheads to that, or is he referring to just like, are there bobblehead dealers?
Yeah, the question
that would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool to have unique ones. It just said, did they have bobbles at the Fanatic show?
Yeah, they had bobbleheads, but there wasn't any like specific event ones. It was more cards than autographs.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball, they didn't do it this past year, I don't think. If they did, I just didn't see it. But they were giving out like mini exclusive mini bobbleheads at the All-Star games. I know when
they didn't do it this year.
There's a mini Fernando.
Yep, they didn't do it this year.
Yeah, they didn't do it. I wonder why. Because in Seattle, they did a Julio and an Edgar Martinez that were cool.
Then
I
they
wonder why they
started
stopped
doing
that.
those back, and I couldn't tell you because I had the original Mr. Met one, the original Mookie, the original David Wright. Those were done. Um, they did that. They did the mini. I think it was Bryce Harper from the Nationals. They did one every single year up until this year,
Huh.
except for 2020. So I don't know why they
Weird.
stopped doing them, but they were people collected them. You know,
Yeah.
Hey,
so.
speaking of Mr. Met, I know Rob and I both love this concept, and I know I actually saw it from you for the first time. But the when City Field was hosting concerts last summer and they were doing a
Hmm.
Mr. Met bobblehead, that's
Yep.
freaking awesome. What a
Yeah.
brilliant concept.
So I'm wondering if they're going to be doing it this year because the concerts they got coming to City Field this year are ridiculous. They got Post Malone and Jelly Roll going there, which I have tickets for. They
Mm.
got Billy Joel and Sting coming there. They got a few other people, so
That's awesome.
we'll see. But the tickets for Post Malone and Jelly Roll were like two something to just get in. So I guess we'll see.
Wow.
I hope they
That's
do them
great.
because they were fun. They gave it to you if you eat a certain amount of food and bought a certain amount of money. So we were just drinking beers before the concert. We were getting bobbleheads for drinking. So it was like, hey, we had a bunch of beers and liquor and alcohol. Then we went to the show, got liquored up, and got bobbleheads, and then ended up paying for the ticket. So it was perfect.
Yeah.
You gonna go
And
watch Posty or what?
What was that?
You gonna go watch Posty?
Yep. So this summer I'm seeing Post Malone with Jelly Roll. I got tickets for Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. Um, yeah, those weren't cheap. I'm seeing Kendrick when he comes to New York. So there's a lot of concerts I'm seeing this year. Metallica in Albany, not in Albany, in Syracuse in April. So it's just my music taste is everywhere.
the that those bobbleheads were given away not at the concert, right? They were given away at the where were they given away? I don't remember.
So when you went inside it, you had to have the ticket for the concert. So
Okay.
you bought the ticket for the concert, and you had to go into their restaurant,
Okay.
and you had to buy food and beer and stuff like that. And then they would be like, okay, here we have this Def Leppard, Mr. Met as Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. Then they'd have Dave Grohl as Mr. Met. Then it was uh, Blink 182 was Travis Barker, and then the other one was Billy Joe Armstrong. So they had them dressed as different as Mr. Mets, and you went up to the restaurant, you bought $50 worth of booze, and then you get the bobblehead. After
Yeah.
you did, you have to show them the receipt, and you go back, you buy them another $50 worth, and you get another receipt, and you just kept running the cycle, and then you're all drunk and shit after like 6 or 7 of them, and there you go. And they only did like 500 of them per show.
That's
So
awesome.
I was
I
trying to show
love
it.
those things.
yeah,
Yeah, I really wish I would have grabbed one, especially on your sale.
I wish you would
Yeah, you
have
sold
told
the
me.
whole set.
Yeah, I sold a bunch of the sets. I sold a few sets for 750, I believe. So yeah, there's the Green Day one, the Billy Joel. You should have told me. I would have gotten you on the side. You guys need something. You got to message me.
I
You
know,
guys
I
got
know, I know. I
We're,
messed up.
we're too
Yeah,
shy.
I was trying
That's
to make.
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do one of them, but
I hit up Carbs on the side. I'm like, yo, bro.
let me remove that.
Or
And now,
or 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 Fu will text me, hey bro. So oh man.
And what was it? Let's see. We had Andy had a hell of a lot of questions for you, but Skydome, since the Toronto people are nicer, MLB versus the minor league in the experience you prefer.
Minor league. Minor league, I just like minor league bobbleheads. Like the Chattanooga Lookouts, Ellie De La Cruz was beautiful last year that they did. Just the Daytona, the Tortugas did some nice bobbleheads. The Cyclones do nice bobbleheads. The ones that the Ports did last year were great. A lot of these teams do amazing bobbleheads, and MLB will do these standard players, etc. But the minor leagues got to think out of the box. You think about the Altoona Curve, who do these insane bobbleheads, and they're great concepts. You know, they were supposed to do Brian Reynolds as Deadpool, but Marvel killed it. But there's all these crazy ideas that they come up with that are great, and you just have to look. You know, it's, you know, when you think about some of the Sugar Skulls, some of the really nice ones were done by minor league teams, and I'm all about the minor leagues.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
Dybar wanted to know about the A's bobbleheads. What's our approach? We kind of talked about it last time. They collect until they're no longer Oakland connected players. What's our move? I don't know, man. I don't know what my move is. I don't know what it is. I just
It's hard.
keep
That's hard.
going.
You know what it is? I would, you know, even though that team left, you still guys still have a connection to it. It's kind of like how I feel about Yankee Stadium. Like, I won't really support things that are Yankees, but you know, I'm not saying they haven't moved, but and I can't say stuff like that, but you know, you still do it. You're still going to collect the team. I have a friend who is a tremendous New Jersey Nets fan. He collected everything New Jersey Nets, and they went to Brooklyn, and he still collected the Brooklyn Nets stuff, even though he refuses to step inside the stadium because they moved. You know, the players didn't do anything to you. That's a team that you grew up with, and even though they moved, you still have an attachment to it.
Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. Is like the three bobbleheads that the A's are giving out. I absolutely adore the players, and so, you know, once they start giving out, like, you know, a Jacob Wilson bobblehead, who, like, no offense, I don't have anything against Jacob Wilson, but like, I don't really, he wasn't a guy. He wasn't one of my guys. So once those start coming, I'll probably start phasing out. But until that happens, I'll collect. I just won't go to the games to get them.
And that's solid, because Fish is an asshole, so I get it. And Cabal is a dick too.
At
Fuck
least
them both.
he got fired or quit. So
yeah, fuck both of them.
Yeah, I know. Andy's being nicer now, so let's get an Andy question. What made you want to start selling bobbleheads and giving back to the community?
First bobblehead game I ever went to was Derek Jeter bobblehead at Yankee Stadium, and at first I was all about selling, because it made nice money, and you know, I'd go to a stadium, get 2 or 3, and do all that, and it was cool money. And then you start getting to meet people who do this a lot, and they end up being really nice people, and they become your friends, and it changes your perspective on things. Like, there's a couple, like, my admins on my team are all close friends of mine. I give them a kidney if they needed it, and it goes beyond selling. You build these friendships where you want to just let's just trade, let's do stuff for the community, let's try to figure things out and make the hobby a safe space for people instead of getting scammed. Because there's a lot of scumbags out there, and there's particularly a page out there on Facebook called Bobbleheads for Sale that's ruining the hobby, where they're just mimicking people, they're mimicking profiles, they're doing all this shit, and that guy's a piece of shit, and I told him he was a piece of shit. So Paul Margulis, go fuck yourself. He was told repeatedly to do it. He was sent legal stuff from people, and he refused to do it, and in turn he just blocked a bunch of people who were in charge of it, damaging the community and doing things like that. And in the end, this is a community. You know, there are going to be people who are going to just buy, and there are people going to be trade, and you gotta want to be able to stick to those things, because guess what? Money goes away, friendships don't.
Yeah.
He has hella scammers on that page. It's crazy, and I get DM. This is why I don't do Facebook. Like, no offense, but I stay away from Facebook unless I'm fucking with the bar or Bobble Head Mania or Bobble Mania or someone like the Dodger like Facebook groups. Other than that, like Chauncey Graphs and like some of the other like ones I've been around for a while. Flip That Bobble, the ones that Kenny's on as well. Like, I don't do Facebook at all, just for that reason, because there's so many scammers on there, dude.
Yeah. It's and the thing is people don't want to touch it. It was like, I've said to the guys, like, let's work together. Let me help you clear your stuff out. I don't care if you're a rival page, but let me give you a hand. Let me see who your scammers are and let me help you. No, I'm not about that. I said, okay, do what you got to do, but You having people doing all that crap, and I lost my shit when they cloned my entire profile page, my name, except they misspelled my freaking last name, which isn't hard, you know. So I'm just stupid.
Did some of
Fucking
those guys,
yo-yos, man.
did some of those scammers leak onto your page too? I feel like, or people were sending off warnings.
Yeah. So what happened on our page was we had a couple of guys who joined in, and we have a bunch of rules that were set to safeguard people from stuff like this. So it was, we have questions you got to answer to join and who can vouch for you, and they put this person vouch and whatever. We'll DM that person. Be like, sometimes people just like, yeah, and then they put up pictures and they don't coin them or say this whatever. And, we have photo matching. We see it's somebody else's, and it's like, yo, can you coin it? No, or they block you, and then they're gone. So we haven't been really touched by any of those people because we have a lot of safeguards in place.
Yeah, you guys do so much legwork on that. It's amazing. You guys, anything comes through the bar is completely legit. So
Thank you. But it's also the source of some of our biggest fights because it'll be like, this guy's an asshole. Like, I don't like his face. I want him out of here, and then we'll call each other jerk offs on the phone. Just usually how it
yeah,
goes.
no, you guys are very dictatorship for sure.
Yeah.
But overall, if you come through it, it's a good. If you buy or
No.
trade, it's legit. So
And there are a lot of people who, I get I'm not trying to say, I get a bad rap sometimes because, there are people who feel like sometimes I was heavy handed. In the past, I was heavy handed with a lot of things. I went through a lot of things that like, old admins and moderators says who are no longer affiliated with us because of things that they did. And there were some people who ended up getting, thrown by the wayside who didn't deserve it. And, I tried to apologize to those people for things that happened. But it was in the spirit of keeping the page protected and, things happen.
you're heavy handed, but you're also one of the most willing to listen to, or you're willing to step back and look at the situation again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're absolutely fantastic. You're probably better than probably 90% of people I know at doing that. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a huge compliment to you, is who you are.
Thank you. It comes from, being a teacher and,
Yeah.
my time, and everybody, listen, people make mistakes, but people also, you got to be self-reflective in everything you do in this life, especially in this hobby. You got to be self-reflective. There are things you say, hey, do I need to spend this money, or do I need to post this dumb picture, or post something dumb online that makes me look bad? You have to be reflective on all your actions because there's always somebody watching, and there's always somebody who hates your guts.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
What is your favorite bobblehead?
Do I have it near?
Clint.
So
He said Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah,
Clint
yeah.
Eastwood.
Never mind. We already got to
So,
that, dude.
so if you notice, I'm in a different
Sorry.
background from last time. So I currently moved. I moved recently, so it's wrapped up. But I promise you, I'll end up showing it to you. A lot of my stuff is wrapped up.
No,
So I
you're fine.
apologize.
I forgot
God,
what you were talking
what was
about.
it like moving all those bobbleheads?
Oh.
Sucks. lifting the cases up the freaking stairs, and I was just hating life right now. Just like, fuck this.
I can't imagine.
I was like, I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna drop them down the stairs and just leave them here. Fuck them. So I promise you I'll show it off soon. Everything is literally wrapped up in boxes on top of boxes.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah.
We've seen it in your hand at some point, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't understand your question, Andy, but something about why aren't giveaways for
the
all
MLB,
fans?
Understand it's so I get his questions. He's saying, why don't they do things for all fans? And if they say 20K, is it usually more than that? He's always so what he's saying is, how come when he goes to some stadiums they're not all fans like Milwaukee does? And if they say 20,000, how comes? So the teams that get 20,000, they'll end up ordering around 21,000, right? And the 1,000 is for incidentals for their employees and season ticket holders. And the other 20,000, well, they usually give away around 18,000, and the other 2,000 are given away for community things and people who have issues like that. The reason they don't is because the price to produce bobbleheads with these teams has gone up exponentially. Because when we made our own bobbleheads, the prices jumped from making bobbleheads from like $16 a piece to like $37 a piece. And some teams are cheap, and sometimes the team sponsors will only pay a certain amount of money. When it comes to, I don't know why I saw NFL. Ignore the rest of that. But it's something that I thought I saw NFL bobbleheads, but my brain is, maybe it's the beer. It was like 15 ABV. So pardon me. But they end up can only pay for a certain amount.
Yeah.
Do you think
prices
Oh,
went
sorry,
up
go
crazy?
ahead, Rob.
No, I was just saying prices went up crazy, really high.
And I think we're gonna see prices go up even more with the tariffs that are probably gonna get put on China. So do you think that we're gonna see? I already know what to expect. I think we're already seeing it with retail bobbles. But do you think that's going to affect SGAs?
I think it won't affect SGAs this year. I think it's going to affect SGAs next year because a lot of these teams have already received their bobbleheads.
Yeah.
But there are certain companies that I think are going to be in more trouble. So I believe that Success is going to be okay and AGP are going to be fine because they are based in the US for the most part. But I do think BDA is going to be in trouble, if you want my honest opinion, because BDA, they have a small office here, but almost all their production is done in China. Whereas Success, they do a bunch of stuff in Missouri, and then it goes from Missouri to be produced in China and here, where they pay the tariffs. And the same thing happens with AGP out in Seattle.
I didn't. Wait, but aren't all these bobbleheads sponsored? So why would it affect any of the bobbleheads if they already have other companies paying for them to be produced? It's not like the team's paying for them.
Well, because of the fuel costs and because the pieces on the box say made in China, when they get those boxes, so when you get cases, they say made in China across, and those are going to be eligible for tariffs, depending.
Yeah, but the sponsor pays that, so I don't think it should affect the price.
Well, it's going to affect the times of things coming in. They're going to ask for more money, and the time for it takes to come into the U.S. is going to take longer. That things are going to be held up in the port of Compton like they are for now. When bobbleheads are delayed, they're delayed at the port of Compton sometimes for weeks. When teams we didn't get a,
But
Mark asked if the price on the bobbleheads are going to go up or whatnot, but I don't think it should because it's not like the organizations are paying for them anyways. It comes from sponsors.
Yeah, but there's a trickle down effect in economics wise. Like if I don't know, pick say Xfinity or say Xfinity is sponsoring a bobblehead. Well, if their business is down across the board, which a lot of businesses are starting to hurt, a lot of big corporations are starting to hurt right now, then they may go, we need to cut our sponsorship budget. And so they may go, all right, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to sponsor a bobblehead anymore.
Or they'll say, you got to produce 10,000 less. Right. You can't produce 20,000 anymore. We could, the same price that was 20,000 only covers 10,000. An effect that happened to the Astros and back in the day when they went from all fans to 10,000. And that is very big. They do want to see the ROI is very, very important for these sponsors.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. 100% agree on that.
Yeah.
They'll get their ROIs if they're Dodger bobbleheads. Wait, what?
Everything is great in Dodger land right now.
Everything is great in Dodger land.
Roki, Yamamoto, Shohei, Mookie, I just saw them. They didn't sign for me. Screw them.
Oh, God.
They're not,
Mookie
not signing anything.
Mookie got 805, though. He got 805.
Yeah, and he got Salinas, too. He hooked. Yeah, he hit him.
You got Mookie last year.
Yeah.
Ohtani's not signing for anybody.
No, he has a ball going for like $30,000 right now.
Dude, I saw that and I'm like, that's not good for Foo's ball hunts.
But it's also
and then
the Fanatics monopoly.
And then his game-worn jersey went for like $250,000. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, you're not gonna want to hear this, but I think it's smart of them to tell him not to sign.
Yeah.
I will bet that he has a non-signing clause in his contract.
Yeah.
So I also do
Well,
autographs.
I,
What's
I, I
that?
know I know I know I know of one person that got their World Series ball signed, and he's a firefighter.
I mean, listen, there's going to be some times that people have little outliers
That's
of getting things signed, and people are going to get lucky like that. But there are going to be people that have that non-signing clause. I know, for example, like when Andrew Benintendi was a very, very big prospect for the Red Sox, he had a no signing thing in his contract, and he was not allowed to sign autographs anywhere. And if he did, he was to pay a fine to this company, Anderson. There's been many, many people over the time, over the years, who've had no signing clauses in their contracts with their memorabilia contract, not their regular contract.
Yeah, I had a personal like interaction with Joe DiMaggio. I refereed his great granddaughter's basketball game, and I brought a baseball and asked him to sign. He wouldn't sign it. His granddaughter convinced him to sign my hat, and he signed the bill of my University of Arizona hat
Yeah.
at the time. But he wouldn't, and he was polite about it. But he's like, I'm under contract. I'm not allowed to sign.
Yep. And because he was getting $100 a ball at that point, to have anything signed, and he doesn't. He was famously quoted as saying, "I don't touch a pen unless $100 bill's in front of me." He said that all the time in New York. Mantle used to say, "If I didn't have 200 in front of me, I'm not signing it."
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to me, for older ball players, I get it, because these guys were paid fucking crackers and a summer job at the milk factory in fucking Wisconsin,
Right.
as opposed to players now who are getting, 20, 30, 40 million a season. I understand it's an additional revenue stream, but what? So, sign for the kids at least. I
I
remember,
agree with you.
Nolan Arenado used to sign for kids all the time. My son got Arenado as a kid, and Manny Machado and all these other players. And then it hit like 2015, 16. All these guys had non-signing things in their contract, and that's it, done. And this is why you have people getting autographs when they're in single A and double A, because you don't know what happens.
There's still like in baseball, I know Julio Rodriguez signs a lot.
Francisco Lindor also.
Lindor. And in basketball, I mean, every game I go to, Steph Curry signs, especially on the road.
And
He
Tatum.
spends a lot
And
of
Jason
time
Tatum.
signing.
Curry and Tatum are the best in the NBA.
J-Rod was signing a lot out here, bro.
Who?
Yeah.
He was signing hella out here.
Julio?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ellie
Always
too.
has.
Ellie was signing. We chased Ellie today. Me and Georgie chased him down. De La Cruz. But today was the only day that he didn't sign. But it was funny. George put on his Crocs in sports mode, and he was fucking it, dude.
Sport mode. I like that Ricky did it. He if you gave him a ball, he'd sign on the side panel. If you want a premium autograph, then you want it on the sweet spot, then you have to go pay for it. I think that's very fair.
That's most players. That's all players out here too. Mookie side panels, Kerr side panels, Miggy side panels. Every Dodger, for the most part, if they're not like small players, they all side panel.
Yeah, because now that money's going to be now that money is going to be in signing them logo balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought
that was fair. For logo balls for sure.
I've never been like as an autograph seeker. I've never, as much as I'd love a sweet spot autograph, I've never been upset if a player signed on, because it's always been for me, for my collection. So the way that I put it in the cube is all that matters to me. But I get it. Like Rob's saying, I get from their standpoint, especially the older guys. Like, they didn't get paid like these guys are.
Right.
And it's a decent compromise, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. And Andy, you're right. Trout signed like crazy. He signed for everybody.
Yeah, Trout
smart.
did sign a lot.
Yeah.
He's cut back over the years, Trout. Like recently, he's cut.
Yeah.
So I know
because he's not with the team.
But he did like kids. He did still do for kids. He was really good with kids.
The black Sharpie. Always pulled the black Sharpie out of his pocket.
Yeah. He was very good at that. I've seen him sign jerseys, sell that that were that shit they make it all straight at nights. I've seen him sign that kind of stuff and things too. One more question. Well, this is for 510. We want to see that collection in the back, dude. That display one of these days. When we gonna get it?
When it's done, for
All
sure.
Right.
For sure.
That's funny,
dude.
When are we getting you guys on the East Coast?
I'd love to make it out there. My kid graduates high school this year, and then maybe we can start. Rosie does, yeah.
Wow.
And then maybe once I get college start line signed up, then I can look for that.
You got to get to Pittsburgh and Baltimore out here, the two of the best stadiums here on the East Coast.
Yeah, I would love to get out there to those. Pittsburgh's an odd team. Like, they do good stuff. Like, they're very like marketable in my opinion with their like their City Connect and all that kind of stuff. But they're a shitty team. Like, they don't put any. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Skeens now, but still, it's like they go into the marketing side of it, but then they don't have much backing behind it after that.
Well, that's because Bob Nutting is one of the cheapest owners in sports. I mean, he's just as bad as what you guys had going on there. And they're a glorified farm team. You look at the players, they boost them up a few years, and they do what they got to do, and then they're traded to the Astros, the Yankees.
God, they've had some studs come through there.
You think about that teams that those guys had and the players that they traded away.
Right.
Imagine right now a starting rotation of Garrett Cole and Paul Skeens pitching as their 1-2 on that team.
They had Tyler Glasnow too, didn't they?
And Tyler Glasnow was a 3. Yeah. My point. And they keep trading. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And
wild.
You're waiting for the shoe to drop. When O'Neal Cruz will end up being traded soon. We'll see where he ends up going. It's a constant thing, and it's a joke.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's a beautiful stadium. There's a lot of great things there, but they're a glorified farm team.
I know. And now Baltimore's put the shit together. They're ready to line it up and go for it. Looks like to me.
They didn't really sign anybody big outside of Tyler O'Neill this summer. They don't have their frontline starters. Grayson Rodriguez being the fact they lost Corbin Burns, who we all knew was going to Arizona because his family is in Arizona. Right. But I do think that the Red Sox leaped him, and I think it's Yankees Red Sox going to win that, or you're 1-2 in that division this year.
Yeah, I know.
But everybody got better. Except for the Rays, that entire division got better.
Yeah. And the Rays always find a way to compete anyways.
They do. And, I think, Yankees, Red Sox will be good this year. I think Cleveland takes a step back. I think Kansas City will win that division this year. I think the Astros will squeak out this division too this year, but I think the Guardians, I can't see them pulling out another thing this year out in the Central, considering how good the Royals and the Tigers were last year.
I know. Royals are coming on strong to me.
I think the Royals are going to sneak and win that division this year. You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
And they got studs in the minors too. Wait till Caglione comes up from the minors. Yeah. That kid can freaking hit, man.
He's a good player.
He's gonna be a stud, and that team's gonna be not gonna cover off the Bulls for a while as long as they can keep them together. Reminds me a lot of the pre-2015 Royals that you saw end up winning the World Series that year with the staff that they have coming up.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. is a beast.
The dude is a stud. The guy is all worlds.
Yes.
The guy has got the potential to be the face of the league for another 10 to 15 years, and it's good for baseball when you got young kids like that. Do it, and I hope he never leaves the Royals and changes ever, because they haven't had a franchise play. It's nice to see Sally Perez hand off that torch to Bobby Witt Jr. as a franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball really needs a player like a Bobby Witt Jr., like a Paul Skeens to stick with that organization instead of going to the Yankees or going to the Dodgers.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, they desperately need that.
They need it. And because you want to be able to build these teams, but in the end, you got some of these owners who are crying poverty for no fucking reason whatsoever, saying, "Oh, we're poor, we're losing money." The owner for the Pirates has been one of the biggest recipients of the
revenue sharing,
revenue sharing money more than almost any other. I think him and Manafort from the Rockies, they cry poverty. They've received more money than some of these other owners. And you got the owners of the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, who are paying through their teeth, and these guys are not even using all their money. People complain about a salary cap. You need a salary floor in the league, and I think that salary floor should be $100 million for every single team. And people need to stop bitching about the Dodgers, stop bitching about the Yankees, because guess what? This is what you want your owner to do. You want your owner to spend that money and sign every best player on the market to give yourself the best chance of the title. And it's annoying to hear people bitch about it every fucking 5 minutes.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like as a fan of a team that historically doesn't spend, well, not historic, for the last 30 years hasn't spent, it's really easy to fall into the like victim, like, oh, poor us, like we don't have, like, how come we don't spend, and how come these teams get to, because they can.
Right.
They're not doing anything outside of the rules. Their owners are going for it. Like, good for them.
Yeah,
I think it's fucking great. But I think you're right. There should be a floor where every single team needs to be apt to at least compete.
Right. Yeah. Or the Marlins have spent $0 in free agency. Their current payroll is something like $23 million or something like that for next. Really? Like, do you want people to show up to your games when your payroll is 20 something $million, or however low it's lower than every team in baseball?
Yeah.
It's sick. It's just
the team that I can't wrap my head around. I've started following them a little bit closer because my kid likes them, is the Mariners. Like, and they invested in Julio. They gave him a 10-year contract, but they've got an unbelievable starting rotation in Seattle. Right. But they're all under team-friendly deals, right? None of them have hit arbitration or free agency yet. They have not spent a dime to put anything around Julio offensively, and it's like, dude, you're wasting this incredible rotation and this incredible young center fielder. Like,
why weren't they in on Alex Bregman? Why were the Mariners not all over Alex Bregman? He gave you all intel you need on the Astros that you need on pitching and things like that. You could add a third baseman right there, and now he's going to be battling with Rafael Devers in Boston for what?
Yep. And they needed a third baseman after they got rid of Suarez a couple of years ago. They desperately needed a third baseman.
Exactly. And they don't have amazing things in the minors. They have a few good players, but Seattle is. You need these pieces. They should have been all in on Pete Alonso. They should have been all in on Bregman. And if you have, it doesn't make any sense to me. You're trying to get past the Astros.
Their stadium is awesome, and that fan base is just dying for a playoff team.
Yeah.
It's weird. They're weird to me. It's like they don't care. It's like they got a script to stay to, and they just stay to that. I agree with you. They've had so many chances to push further, and they're not.
Yeah.
It's really crazy to think about the fact that they've had, in our lives, they've had Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., Ichiro Suzuki, Edgar Martinez.
Yep.
They've had these absolute studs, and they've never won anything, not even like a playoff series.
Well, I mean, the only one was 95 against the Yankees, and it was heartbreaking to watch Don Mattingly go out like that. But, you think in 1998, they went against the buzzsaw that was the Yankees in that 98 season.
Yeah. When they had 16-win season, wasn't it?
Yep. And then they ran into the Yankees rotation, and it happens.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand how that franchise doesn't.
No, not at all.
Invest a little bit.
Who looks like he's like frozen in like like there he is, like a Costco or
yeah.
Where are you?
Or a Walmart.
And he's got his microphone off.
Yeah. That's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Yeah. I'm happy to see baseball coming back. I'm a very big hockey guy. And this NFL season was
2001.
Yeah, NFL season was dog shit with my 49ers. It was 2001. See, I was wrong. Yep, my bad. Sorry, guys. Yep, you're right. Sorry, guys.
Now you bounced.
You know what else was dog shit was your fantasy football performance this season.
Oh, it was terrible. I went from worst to first. I mean, from first to worst.
How
Ugh,
disappointing! Wow.
very disappointing. My entire team was injured. You know,
Come on.
but we
I had the
should.
number one overall pick, and I still made the playoffs. And
See, but
I
here,
lost McCaffrey. This is my point.
see, but I lost Debo. I lost Brees Hall. I was just Brandon Ayuk. Like it was just a season of
Well, you didn't lose
injuries
Brees
and
Hall. He just
disappointment.
I
happened
say
to be on
Brees
the
Hall, you
Jets.
really didn't lose him. He was there.
Well,
He's
he
just
played
a
like
Jet.
shit. He's just a Jet.
God.
But well, I'll have the fantasy baseball up soon for on the page if you guys are interested. You know, let me know.
You
You
know,
know,
I stopped playing fantasy baseball a few years ago, but I actually think
NyQuil,
now that I'm like gonna phase out the A's, I might get back into it just to keep my baseball love alive.
you got it. You got it. We have a lot of fun with it, and you know, I'll probably have it up soon in a couple of weeks on the page and
All right,
see when
I'll look
everybody.
for it.
I want to catch a game with you when you come out here, because I'm not gonna go to nearly as many games anymore, and I'd like to hook up with you when you come out, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you once I have my schedule finalized because I am waiting on a couple of things out here. Um, we have so I'm a teacher on the side as you know I'm a teacher on the side. I'm a
On the
teacher
side.
and on the side.
That's your
I'm a
side
teacher.
gig.
Yeah, it's my sidekick. But like I'm also a union delegate. And it's a big election year for us, so I do have a lot of election things that I have to tend to. So because our delegation is up for elections here, so I'm kind of all over the place with that. So once I have everything settled with that, I will send you guys my schedule because I definitely want to link up and catch a game with you guys out west.
Yeah, get it out to us so we can send it off to all the other teams and let them know where you're coming.
Yeah, we'll call ahead and let them know.
See if we get you banned from a few more
Yeah,
spots.
exactly.
That's
We'll
the
just,
most fucked up thing, dude. That is so fucking stupid, dude. That's
yeah,
so shitty.
the cease and desist letters were the absolute best because it had the team logo, had my name, my address. It had my whole government on there. It was one of the funniest things ever. And I remember getting them. My ex-wife was like, "What the fuck is that?" Just laughing my ass off. I'm like, "Look, a cease and desist letter." And you know, I had it framed up in my living room for a little while until she made me take it down. But it was perfect.
That's terrible. Dude.
Yeah, and I'll be in touch with you. I might make a trip to New York this summer. So
Absolutely. And
would
if you
love to
come
meet
anywhere
up.
near the East Coast, you know, and if you end up venturing up to Boston, let me know. I can get you hooked up there for stuff,
Awesome, thank
you
you.
know.
Yeah, I'll
But
let you
you
know. We'll
know,
be in touch.
absolutely. And Philly's a great stadium too if you get over there too.
Full keeps
Yeah,
dropping.
let's try and get my I've got a cousin in New York City, so we're gonna try and see her before she takes off next year. So that's probably where we'll end up. But oh my
What was
god,
that?
What?
this guy?
Tell me,
This guy.
tell me about those. Tell me about those pins, bro. Tell me about those pins. I never seen that zebra pin before.
Frozen
that.
Foo is the best, dude.
That was great.
He
I
sounds
felt like
like
it was in
T-Pain.
I thought I was in the
That's
Matrix.
Robo Foo.
Yeah. Robo Phil.
Oh man. Ballfoo, what did you say?
You get that Dayquil. I saw the Dayquil, NyQuil aisle you're in. Looks like some shitty stuff going on.
My wife got sick, so I'm here. I got to take care of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh no.
That
Sorry to
sucks.
get well soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's weak, bro. Hey, Arizona spring training is not for the weak, bro. She's weak, homie.
How
Oh,
long
I
you still
love
out there
Arizona
for?
for spring training.
Oh, it's
I'll be
the
out here until
best.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day. Then I head back to LA.
Do you like Arizona more than Florida, Carbs? For the spring training?
Absolutely.
Really?
Arizona for spring training is better because everything's close in Arizona. You could go to different stadiums, you could see multiple teams during the day, but Florida, everything is, you know, 2 hour drive, 3 hour drive. It's further away. And when you go to Arizona, it could be like, hey, I'm doing the White Sox in the morning, I'm gonna do Dodgers in the afternoon, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do the D-backs and the Giants, I'm gonna do the Cubs, you know. You can literally bounce and see every single team if you really want to and have the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
Every,
Arizona.
every, everything is 15 to like 30 minutes away from one another.
With the exception of Tucson, everything's
Yeah, I
within
was gonna say,
35
Yeah,
minutes.
just Tucson. Yeah.
it used to be Mariners and Cubs were out there by themselves too. I thought up in north.
Yeah.
The Cubs were in
the
Mesa.
Huh?
Well, the first two teams that were out there were when they were the Indians, and the Cubs were the first two teams that were in Arizona, and then they started adding additional teams out there. That was late '90s, early 2000s when they started doing that.
Yeah,
because everybody was in Florida.
Some of the best weekends of my entire life were spring training in Arizona during the first round of the March Madness tournament.
Nice.
Oh my God. What a freaking party.
I've never had that week off. I'd love to do that both at the same time.
I could never do it now. I'm too old. I'd be passed out by noon.
Age is but a number, man. Age is a number.
It's a young man's game now. I'm just I'll play my golf in the morning and catch a game at night.
Rockies and D-backs for the last 2 minutes in Tucson. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like the Padres were in Tucson for a little while too.
Tucson.
Because I remember I feel like I got some Padres.
Wow.
I feel like I got wind way back in the day as an instructor in Tucson.
You're a trooper, Jenny.
Yeah. Seriously.
But you can in Arizona. You can do it. You know.
Yeah.
So it's well worth it.
Well, Andy wants to say, if we're shutting down, Andy wants to say nice words about you. And I'm sorry, Andy, I picked on you a little bit too much, but you went straight after Blue Jays like hardcore. So he's if you're signing out, I just want to say thank you to Carbs for all you do. You're the man. Thank you for your answering your questions, coordinating the bar, and going out to these stadiums.
Thank you very much.
You do tons for the hobby, man.
It sounds like Andy wants something from you, dude.
I know. I expect a DM later.
No, but in all seriousness, you know, if anybody needs stuff from any of the pages, anybody who's listening, watching, you can always shoot me a message. I'm usually pretty responsive on my cell, my phone, all about growing this hobby. And the best we can do is continue to build this community, because for some people, all they have is this community, and it's a great fellowship and friendship of great people, you know. And even if you want to message me to talk shop and shoot the shit or call me an asshole, shoot me a message.
That's true. That's true. You'll take any of those. That's true.
Very true.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. I'd like to get you on again. You know what I mean? Throughout the year and stuff, and we talk about doing a couple shows, different type shows too.
Whenever you want, let me just let me know, and game. Love to be on the show. You guys are the best.
I just tease you, Andy. Sorry about that. I was just teasing you, dude. And thanks, Doug. All right, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight, BobbleTalk.
Yeah, thanks, fool. Good luck to you, dude, at Walmart. So, all right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up, and I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. That was a good live show, so I appreciate you all. And let me see if I can make this work. And I'm going to do this, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you.